Normally I don't drink this stuff, but because we just had Super Bowl and my husband picked up this before then, well, now we have to finish it all. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Olga is here. For those of you who haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the bell as well to get the latest notifications about the videos I post out there for you guys. And in today's video, we are going to be reviewing Ulta Beauty Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation. I picked this up in Ulta. This is Ulta exclusive. It retails for $39. They had gone ahead and released this particular foundation because of their Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which has been super duper popular, and it does come in matte as well as the hydrating formula. I really wanted to pick up the matte formula, however they did not have it in my shade, and that's why I picked up the hydrating. Normally I always go for matte formulas whenever I can. I just don't like hydrating foundations. I feel like they make me feel oily, even though I am not. I have more normal to combo type of skin. However, I do know that matte formulas can make you look like you're dry and they can settle into the fine lines. However, I tend to have much better experience with matte formulas. This foundation has 12 months of shelf life. It's been made in USA. It's cruelty free. It comes in 18 shades. I do wish they offered more shades. Tarte is a big brand, and the fact that they came out with 18, it seems to be limited. I wish there were more deeper skin shades. This product contains 30 ml of product. I had already put this on earlier today. I'm going to attach the check-in at 5 hours and you will see what happened to it. Right now I only have the lip liner. I did prime my skin with Drunk Elephant Hydra, and I'm going to right now start putting this foundation on and we'll see how it applies. So the applicator of this foundation, this is what it looks like. Pretty much the same thing that the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer has. The brand also did come out with their own artiste looking brush. However, I'm not going to be using that. I did not buy that. I do have my own dupe right here. This isn't artiste, but this is very similar to what Tarte has come out with. I'm going to attach the picture of what that looks like, and I am going to use a beauty blender on one side and this on the other just to see what happens, but more than likely I'm not going to like it with the brush. I'm going to revert to the beauty blender, but I will see. Right now I'm going to go into my concealer and apply that, and then I will set my face with Maybelline Fit Me powder, Fit Me Loose powder. This is a new product and just got released, so there is pretty much no way this is old, correct? Correct. However, when I got this and I opened it up and I started playing with it, this doesn't feel as you're getting a lot of product on a spatula. It feels like almost like the spatula itself is dry. I mean, this is supposedly hydrating foundation, right? But it kind of feels like the product has been sitting on a shelf for forever. And granted, I didn't get 2 or 3 bottles, so I don't know. Maybe I did get a bad product. I kind of feel like if you are going to give this foundation the name Shape Tape, then I, as a consumer, I'm expecting that it's going to smell, feel, and perform something like this, something like their actual Shape Tape concealer, because when I pull out this spatula, and I've been using this non-stop for quite some time, so technically speaking it should feel like the product is getting lesser and lesser in there. This feels really creamy, and this actually has a pleasant smell, whereas this foundation, it has an okay smell. I wouldn't call it disgusting or anything, but it definitely does not give you that fresh smell that their concealer has. So like this Tarte concealer is beautiful, it smells great, it's creamy when you play with the wand, you feel like there is a lot of product on it, and yet this foundation, it doesn't give you that same feeling. And I think this is the biggest misstep. If they called it anything else, even if the wand was like the doe foot applicator was the same as in this one, give it another name, I would not come out and say, oh, but it doesn't feel like Shape Tape, because it's a different product. But because they gave it such a strong name, and as consumers, most of us had really great experience with Shape Tape concealer, we are approaching this foundation with a certain attitude. We have certain expectation for this to perform on a great level. So what we are expecting is that this should be full coverage, that this should come in a beautiful range of colors, because I believe it should. It should really come in more shades than it did. It came in 18 shades, and Tarte did say that they are going to release more shades later, but I just don't get it why they couldn't release those shades right now. This is a big brand. It's not like it just started, you know. Going back to the formula, I just feel like if they gave it any other name, no, I would not have an issue with how it applies and whatnot. But now the certain expectation level has been set and it has not been met. And this is what I believe the whole thing about the formula and the big deal is. Now, I looked at Ulta's reviews, and there are some people who give it 5 stars, there are some people who give it 2 or 3 stars or even 1 star, and wanted to see what are people saying, what are their experiences with this foundation. So people are saying that it's the same as Double Duty Hybrid Foundation, that Tarte just took that product and repackaged this and slapped a sticker of Shape Tape on it and called it good, this is new foundation. Now, this of course begged the question of research. I want to right away make a disclaimer that I am not a chemist, I'm not a pharmacist, I cannot really perform any kind of real analysis under the microscope or anything like this. It's just simply not possible for me. I'm going to attach side by side the ingredients in the Tarte Shape Tape foundation. Now, this is the hydrating foundation, so I don't have the matte one. I would love to try the matte one, but they did not have it in my shade in Ulta, so I had to buy the hydrating. But I'm going to attach the picture. On the left, I'm going to have the ingredients for this product, and on the right, I'm going to have the ingredients for the Double Duty Hybrid Foundation, and you're going to see for yourself. Now, here's the thing. When I was looking up that product on Ulta's website, on Tarte's main page, and when I put into the search engine of Ulta's website, the Double Duty Hybrid Foundation name, the search came with no results, like the product is not available. So I had to go ahead and plug in the ingredients from the this foundation into the Google search engine, and this is what happened. So what happened was, as soon as I plugged in those ingredients, this product came up like it was in first couple of searches. And if you do the same thing, it's going to happen for you as well. But then if you read further down, like maybe the 6th or 7th link, like down the page, you will see that it does give you the reference to Tarte's website, where it's talking about the other foundation, the Double Duty Hybrid Foundation. So of course, so it did lead me there onto Tarte's website. So I opened up the ingredient list there. Unfortunately, the ingredients are listed by the shade, not like in Ulta's website where they're like just bunched up all together. You have a shade name, and then you have those ingredients, then you have another shade name, and you have another list of ingredients. But I looked at those ingredients, and the main concern is that people are saying it's the same thing, it's the exact same thing, and I have to tell you the following. Yes, the ingredients seem to be extremely similar, because the ingredients that are listed, I do see the same ingredients in both of these foundations. However, just so that everybody understands, when the ingredients are listed in different order, that means they are in different strengths. So let's say something, let's just say A here and A here. If you have A at the very first line of the page right here, but then you look at the other page and A is right down here. That means that A right here is in way larger amounts or strength than the A right here. So it all depends. So if something is listed down like 3 lines deeper, that means that the strength of that ingredient is lesser. So there is lesser amount of something. Let's say that if I'm looking at a toner, if the alcohol is the first ingredient, right, that means that this is really strong. But if I'm looking at another toner and the alcohol is listed all the way at the bottom, that means that there's pretty much no alcohol in this product, or it's like really small amount. If fragrance is listed at the very top here and fragrance is listed at the very bottom right here, that means again that this is going to be very strong, this is going to be very weak. So even though the ingredients look extremely similar, like the names are the same, they are listed in different order. I'm not trying to defend Tarte, but I also want you to be able to understand this and to do your own research. It's a very strong accusation, and before people start picking up their pitchforks and going after somebody, you really have to do your legwork and do research and really say that, hey, this is exactly the same because I've done this research, I have this proof, I have this proof. Where is the evidence? The evidence is that the names are similar or the same, but they are listed in different order. And so even if this is extremely similar product to that other one, that doesn't make it the same. I just wanted to throw that out there so that whenever you feel like it just seems to be so good, I want to jump to that conclusion, well, everything has to match. It's like a puzzle. It's like you take your evidence, you work with it, and it has to match. You can't just say, oh, it seems like it's the same thing, but it's not, because things are listed in different order and in different strength. And like I said, I personally am not a pharmacist or a chemist or a scientist. I can't really take those two products under the microscope and separate them and say, yes, they are exactly identical. I cannot do that, and so I cannot say that. But the reason I brought this up is because this is something that people are saying. And so I can't look at it like this and pretend it's not there. If there is an elephant in the room, I'm going to address it. Hey, there is an elephant in the room. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, the products could be extremely similar. You could probably even say, oh, they're dupes for each other. But going back to this formula, I personally do not like hydrating foundations. I like, or dewy foundations. That would be another way to describe it. I like matte foundations. Matte foundations on me personally tend to stay better. This seems to be staying okay on me, and it certainly looks very nice and dewy in the very beginning, but then towards the end of the day, or when you have been wearing it for a little bit, it does become shiny. It does become like a bit more dewy, like where it's borderline, is it dewy or am I sweaty? I always feel like this is such a fine balance, especially with me. Also, if you do have any kind of texture on your face, on your cheeks, like I do, I have some imperfections, and dewiness can actually really show those imperfections in your skin. This just doesn't work for me personally. I would have to try the matte formula and say yay or nay. And I think a lot of the consumers were really thinking that Tarte would take the formula here and repackage it in a bigger bottle. It didn't provide me with coverage throughout this area. I had to strongly rely on the concealer for my blemishes right here and some acne scars that I have from before. The expectation the consumer had for this was like, wow, this is going to really conceal everything and give you a blank canvas to work with. At least with the hydrating formula, it doesn't. I cannot speak for matte formula because I have not tried it. For myself personally, I do not approve this product, but I would understand if this works for somebody else out there. Also, I did feel like mine was somewhat dry inside, so I don't want to pass a hard verdict and say absolutely not approved, awful, terrible. No, I don't want to do that either, because I don't know, did I end up with a bad bottle? or is it like this all across the board? I am not approving it right now, but I am willing to look into the matte formula and see how that performs. But do let me know if this worked for you guys. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you want to try it? You know, do you have questions about it? Do you want me to review the matte one? Do let me know, please. Also, when I was working with this, I find it completely hilarious that the brands will say, oh, here's my foundation, here's my brush for it. I don't think you should be buying their brush or their sponge. If you have your own method of applying foundation, that's what you need to be using. If you have to bend over backwards for a particular foundation to buy their primer, to buy their brush, to buy their sponge, then ask yourself a question. Do you really need that foundation? With all of that said, thank you very much for tuning in. I do appreciate you all, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. I love you. Bye.